What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another bracket video. You guys have loved the last two brackets that I've done. And to keep up with the daily March Madness thing, we are going to do another one. So this might be, we'll probably make this weekly. Weekly picks. But anyway, let's get into it. All the first round teams are going to cover them up and reveal them. We'll do the other side in a bit. So let's reveal the first games. I'm going to pick Virginia over Iona, VCU over Baylor, LSU over Lipscomb, Maryland over Seton Hall, Buffalo over St. John's, Houston over Yale, Louisville over Oklahoma, Michigan State over Loyola Chicago, Kentucky over Sam Houston, UCF over Texas. Here's an upset. I'm going to take Vermont over Wisconsin. I don't think Wisconsin is good enough to be a 4 seed. It's like FSU over TCU. It's like Minnesota over Mississippi State, Texas Tech over South Dakota State, Ole Miss over Cincy, and UNC over Colgate. Next set of games is revealed. We're going to take Gonzaga. Oh, shoot. We're going to take Gonzaga over Prairie View A&M. We're going to take Washington over Syracuse. That's a good 8-9. I'd be curious to see that 8-9. We're going to take Virginia Tech over Hofstra, ISU over Belmont. That's Iowa State, by the way. Utah State, we're going to take over Villanova. And we're going to take UC Irvine over Kansas. I really like this upset pick. That's a decent one that I think will happen. Auburn over NC State. Michigan over Montana. Duke over Campbell. Iowa over Florida. That would be the 8-9s and 7-10s are games I like to watch in the first round. We're going to take Kansas State over New Mexico State. We're going to take Marquette over Old Dominion. We're going to take Nevada over Alabama. Purdue over Georgia Southern. Wofford over OSU. And Tennessee over Wright State. So a lot of favorites here. The only two upsets you picked were Utah State and UC Irvine. But trust me, there will be upsets coming. In the Sweet 16, we're going to take Virginia Commonwealth, the Rams. Because earlier in the year, they played Virginia. And they only lost by 7. I think they only lost by 7 on the road. And they even had the win probability dip into their favor. You guys have to watch out for VCU. They've proven they've done it before, making the Final Four 2011. They're a team to watch out for. Give me Virginia Commonwealth. We're going to take LSU over Maryland. We're going to take Houston over St. John's. We'll take Michigan State over Louisville. We'll take Kentucky over UCF, FSU over Vermont. Minnesota is an upset over Texas Tech. We're going to take UNC over Ole Miss. We're going to take Gonzaga over Washington, Iowa State over Virginia Tech. We're going to take an upset, or not, I guess it's not an upset. We're going to take Utah State over UC Irvine, Michigan over Auburn, Duke over Iowa, Kansas State over Marquette, Purdue over Nevada. We're taking Wofford over Tennessee, though. I do like Wofford. People are saying, I don't know much about these guys. I can tell you, if you don't know much about Wofford, they're going to be a pretty good team. I like Wofford to beat Tennessee in this one, just because I have no upsets in this region. So I guess I had to pick one. Moving on over. The Rams of Virginia Commonwealth. I'm going to take in another upset because I'll tell you another thing about VCU. They've won 18 straight games, and they're most likely going to win the Atlantic 10. Not a bad conference. They got like Dayton, Rhode Island, Duquesne, St. Louis, Davidson. It's a decent conference, and VCU's won 18 in a row in said conference. They're legit, and LSU doesn't have that much tournament experience, so I'm going to take VCU. This game was a coin flip for me. Houston and Michigan State. I did end up taking Michigan State, but this was really close. You could pretty much flip a coin on this one. I did end up taking Michigan State, though. We're going to take Kentucky over FSU, and we're going to take UNC over Minnesota here. So our first 4 elite teams are UNC, Kentucky, Michigan State, and VCU. Over here, though, I'm going to show you that Gonzaga, I think, will win over Iowa State. Give me Utah State to beat Michigan. You know why? Michigan will not make it far back-to-back years. I don't see it happening. And you guys, you saw my Utah State video. You know my stance on them. They are a great sleeper team. There's been an 11 seed make the Elite Eight, I think, the last 2 years. Because last year it was Loyola Chicago making it to the Final Four. And the year before that, it was Xavier. I think there was one the year before that, although I can't remember it. So give me Utah State. Take Duke over Kansas State here. We're going to take Purdue over Wofford. Let's go to our Final Four representatives. VCU playing Michigan State. this is an interesting one for me. And yet, you know, you guys have seen March Madness before. You guys know crazy stuff happens in March. Enough said. Enough said. Give me VCU to make it to the Final Four. They did it in 2011, and I think this team's better than that 2011 team. Give me the Virginia Commonwealth Rams. I really like them. Over here, oh, you guys already saw that. We're going to take UNC over Kentucky. I can't really get behind Kentucky that much, so we're going to take UNC in that one. Duke and Purdue. Such bad camera work. This, I think, has to go to Duke, although I don't think Duke will make the Final Four, but this is a kind of a cupcake bracket, especially if Tennessee gets upset by Wofford. This is a really cupcake area here. And then we are going to end up taking Gonzaga over Utah State. That'd be crazy if Utah State made the Final Four and VCU. That would just be crazy, but we're going to take Gonzaga here. So let's go to the Final Four. Right under this slab is Duke and Gonzaga. And you know what? Gonzaga, in my opinion, is the best team in the nation right now, and they honestly are the only team to beat Duke. And I really think Duke's overrated. And if this were to play out, this would be the best team that they had ever faced. I'm going to take Gonzaga. And then for the other one, it's going to be UNC and VCU. The reason I'm going to take UNC is because a lower-rated seed has never made it past the first round of the Final Four. Like, VCU didn't get past the first round of the Final Four when they were Loyola Chicago didn't do it. The lower seeds never get to the championship. They just usually make it to the Final Four. And I think UNC's, in my opinion, these are the two best teams in the nation right now, UNC and Gonzaga. And we're going to have to see who is going to get this. Let's move on to the championship. This championship matchup should look familiar. One, because it was the championship matchup in 2017. And because this is the exact same championship as my last bracket video. I think that this has to be the favorite matchup. And in my opinion, these are the two best teams coming into the tournament. I think Gonzaga is a better team, and I picked them in my last bracket. But now that I'm thinking about it, tournament and experience means so much. UNC has more tournament experience. That's why I'm going to pick North Carolina in this bracket. I really like their chances. For me, it's either UNC or Gonzaga. I mean, I really like these two teams, but that's going to be it for this video. We're going to probably come up with another Bracketology video in about a week. Here's a look at the bracket in full view. Sorry if this is a little blurry, but here you can take a look at that. I'll probably make a community post about this too. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next time.